Hey folks, Luke here with That's Us Gaming, and in this video I'll be taking you through the games that have had my attention divided in the last week. So without further ado, let's get straight to it. Last Saturday I bought Dead by Daylight in a sale on the Xbox store. I've been interested in getting it for a while now, but I'm always dubious of a game that doesn't have any offline solo mode. Nevertheless, it was on a good price, so I thought I'd take a risk. Fortunately, that risk has paid off big time. For those unfamiliar with it, Dead by Daylight is a 1 vs 4 asymmetric online multiplayer horror game, very much in the style of old school slasher movies, where one person takes on the role of a deranged killer, attempting to eliminate the other 4 players as they sneak around and try to hurriedly fix a number of generators to get the power back to the exits in order to escape. It's a simple premise, but you'll often find that the simplest ideas are usually the best. Now I'm going to be honest, I've only played as a killer so far, but that's because it's been so much fun. Hunting down the other players and chucking them up on the hooks. I've had a chance to play as each of the killers at least once, and I'm enjoying mostly playing as the Doctor so far, using his electroshock treatment in order to drive survivors insane so they start to hallucinate and scream uncontrollably, making it difficult to stay away from me for long. I do realise how this makes me sound, by the way, so I would like to clarify at this point, I am not a serial killer. I promise. I'd like to say that I'll get around to playing as a survivor next week, but considering how much I'm enjoying playing the killers, I'm not going to make any promises. I've managed to get my fair share of wins as well as my fair share of losses, but I don't think I'm doing too badly for someone who's just started the game. I've got my online rank up a little bit, and if I do go on it this week, it'll probably just be to try and boost that a bit more. After a stint on Dead by Daylight on Tuesday evening, I joined fellow That's Us Gaming stars Rob and Lee for a few games of Overwatch. I had hoped to get in a round or two with a new character Wrecking Ball, but I kept getting beaten to it on the character select screen, so I just settled for playing as Lucio and Orisa again. Sadly, after a really good opening round where our team pretty much dominated the capture area, we went on a losing streak that lasted 3 or 4 games before I decided to call it a night. Nevertheless, it was nice to play a few games. It's been a few months since I last played Overwatch, and in all honesty, probably will end up being again. There's a lot of games out there I like to play, and Overwatch is usually quite low on the list, even though it is nice to play from time to time. I was looking for something a bit casual to play Wednesday morning before I was heading out for the day, and while looking through the games I had installed on my Xbox, I spotted Sonic Mania. I remembered that there was some DLC released recently featuring the 2 new characters, Mighty the Armadillo and Ray the Flying Squirrel, as well as a new Encore mode, so I thought I'd take a peek at the price. Finding out it was only £4, I thought I'd treat myself, completely forgetting that I also bought Dead by Daylight and Enter the Gungeon on the weekend before, but forgetfulness aside, I played a few levels in the Encore mode and would like to start by saying I'm grateful to the developers for giving us the option to remove the 10-minute time limit. 10 minutes was plenty of time in the original games, but I think a little tight in Sonic Mania, considering the larger levels and the bigger boss fights. It's not a complaint, by the way. The impressive level design and unique bosses are what make this game awesome, but it's easy to use up those 10 minutes without realising it while you explore the multiple routes in the level. That aside, I'm quite enjoying the new live system that is based on how many of the characters you have left in your party. It's a novel idea that gives the new mode a bit of something different compared to the main game. And I'm really enjoying the new pinball bonus levels that appear at checkpoints. I think I completed the first 3 or 4 zones, and I'll probably go back to it this week to do some more. If I don't get sidetracked by something else. More than likely Dead by Daylight, to be honest. I also took the opportunity this week to download the mobile version of Tekken to my iPad. Not really sure what I was expecting, but I wasn't expecting it to be so similar to the mobile fighting games by NetherRealm. Seriously, if you've played Mortal Kombat X or Injustice 2 on iOS or Android, then you'll know that Tekken has a lot in common with these games. Not just the gameplay, but the way you collect new characters by unlocking cards, or various power levels, or getting shards that are part of those characters that add up to get you the card. I'll give them a little credit though, the touch controls feel a lot more fluid in this than I remember in Injustice 2, and in a typical Tekken fashion the game has a higher tempo than its counterparts, and the AI is a bit more aggressive here. It could just be that Bandai Namco have the advantage of releasing their game more recently, so I'd have to reinstall the NetherRealm games to make a proper comparison. Either way, I've enjoyed it to start with, and it hasn't yet tried to take all of my money, but you know, it's a free mobile game with a shop menu. It's only a matter of time, really. Lastly this week I've been playing Enter the Gungeon. Picked this up for a £5 in the same sale that I obtained Dead by Daylight from. It's a game that I've been interested to try since I saw a review of it by Cat Icarus. It's a thoroughly enjoyable twin-stick shooter, quite challenging. Can't explain how many times I've panic dashed into a pit trying to get away from a bullet, but I do enjoy the game with a challenge. I'm not comparing this game to Cuphead at all, but I get a similar sense of satisfaction when I make it out of a tough fight alive. So far I've only made it to the third boss on the third level, but I think with some more practice I'm likely to make it further. On my next go I might try to help the guy offering to fix the lifts between levels. I need to get 3 keys and 120 bullet cases for him at the moment, but I'm kind of hoping that the reward will be worth it for doing all that. And that's about it. Most of what I've played this week are games that I'm new to, and I'm keen to keep playing them, but only time will tell if I do, or just get distracted again by something else. Let me know what you've been playing this week. Try and start a conversation down in the comments. I'm interested to get any game recommendations from you guys out there. If you've got any tips for the games I have been playing on how to be better at them than I already am, I'd be interested to hear your advice. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. Please like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time.